Go taking part 17 of Kerry Powers because we didn't record the audio the first time, so now we're going to try and match the
Can we reference the other podcast?
We just did.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, someone just
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what we didn't do the last time? Is our normal intro. Say, hey, we're the cool guys, and I'm David.
And I'm George.
And this is our return very first guest, Kerry Powers, who's president of the Greater Irmo Chamber of Commerce, and she just rocks.
Thank you. Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by Dick Dyer Mercedes-Benz, the first Mercedes-Benz in South Carolina.
That trend is kind of increasing.
Well, it's interesting to see just who engages with it immediately, who stands off of it, and then who won't.
Yeah, who's fearful of it.
Yeah.
So I'm all about the segues, right?
Yep.
Trends. We're talking about coaching trends. Let's talk
Are
about.
those the little?
Let's talk.
Wait,
Segues.
segues.
A segue.
Oh no! Oh God, no!
George,
No, I don't know.
oh my God.
That's so bad.
Yeah, I'm all about the segues, George.
I was really out the entire time. I was sitting
I'm
here.
glad I'm not the only one that is here.
Yeah, I was sitting here. I was like,
Oh,
where are we
gosh.
going with that?
That's like such a.
That's
George
bad.
thing.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Well, I'm laughing because we were having a conversation in the car the other day. and
Yeah,
what was-
sandwiches.
Yeah.
But what did
I thought
say?
he said sandwich, and you meant something completely.
Yeah, no.
Anyway.
So you're over there talking about ham sandwiches.
Yeah,
He's like, what?
And what is he talking? Because I'm deaf in my right
Yeah.
ear, so when we're riding in the car
passenger
and
in
he's
the car.
talking,
Yeah, it's bad.
I have to make. He hates to make sure I'm listening.
Correct. Yeah, if I'm going to tell a joke, I'm not telling it immediately till I know he can hear me because it's not as funny the second time regardless.
Right.
Like even if he doesn't hear it the first time. What did you say?
And then you have to turn
I'm
and
not-
look at
yeah,
him
I'm
and say,
not-
I'm about to tell you a joke.
Yeah. Laugh.
And my diction is going to be great.
Anyway, I'm glad someone that can fully hear us. Conversation going, huh?
What are we talking about? Irmo does not have segues. No.
Okay, so we're talking about coaching trends.
Yes.
What about the market?
The market.
That's a segue, yeah.
Because the market is really weird.
The market's weird right now, but I'll go back to you get out of what you put into it, right? I mean, if you're full-time, you're doing your networking, you're doing your business, I mean, we're doing well. I mean, we just, we opened up 2 months ago. We've got a pretty healthy pipeline going into the fall. We're working on some new ideas to grow that pipeline and grow our visibility in the market. So, I think it just how you get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah, and that's from our perspective. From a client's perspective, it's still, you can never underestimate other buyers. So when you're going to see a home, we may run comps and tell you, yeah, we think it's $20,000 overpriced, but somebody may still come in
Right?
and pay $30,000.
You just never know, right?
All cash.
Correct. You never know. And a lot of it is, I mean, this is a place where people want to be.
Yes.
People from the north are coming down. It's
droves.
cheap. It's affordable. Especially
cheap
to the
for northerners,
yes,
yeah.
yes. Because they've been making northern money. So when
Right.
they come down, they see this compared to what they've been buying up north, and they're like, wow, I can afford this down here. They're not going to take the time to sit down and say, hey, you know what? I think I should go $15,000 under ask here.
Right.
They see the market still as just that competitive. I need to be 20 over.
Yeah.
And there's also, I think, when these folks are coming down, because Ginger and I have seen just, for probably about the first 5 years I was here, we had very little foot traffic in our chamber house. Every day somebody comes in and they're wanting information about the area. They want to talk to a human being about, they want to get the scoop on Irmo versus Columbia versus Lexington, all of the things. But they're all coming from Pennsylvania and Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Ohio, all of those states, because it's tough to do business in all of those states right now, and has been for the last 3 years. And then, I think people just they look and they see how open and welcoming the South is, until you cut us off in traffic. And And then, of course, they, like, to your point, they look at it and they're like, well, God, I've been living in like a 1,100 square foot house in upstate New York and shoving 5 kids into this place, and I can, have like a freaking mansion down here for $450,000, and it's no big whoop, you know? I mean,
And the schools are good, and the climate's good.
And people have been moving to the South for retirement forever.
right.
And so instead of waiting till retirement, they're like, I might as well enjoy
I just
my
gotta
life.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
we
because
were-
nobody
yeah.
moves up north for
For
retirement.
retirement. I've never heard
We were
that.
doing
Yeah.
an open house last Sunday.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
And
Yeah,
and
that was
in
weird.
walks, I mean, you tell the story.
Yeah, it was like, okay, so where are y'all from? Pennsylvania. I'm from Pennsylvania too. What part of Pennsylvania? Reading. And that's my cue that like, okay, they're from where I'm from. They're saying Reading in hopes
You're
that
like,
like maybe they know
Yeah.
what Reading is. I'm like, okay, so Wernersville? Wernersville. I went to Conrad Weiser. My best friend went to Conrad Weiser. And here we are in Chapin, South Carolina.
Small
And
world.
all of a sudden it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
We lived like 5 miles apart.
And,
you would
he
just
won't
never
forget you
expect
the
it.
whole time
Yes.
he's here. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think, the next couple, it's going to get interesting because one of the big names in real estate released their predictions for the next half of the year and on into 2024, 2025. And they're projecting as interest rates start to come back down a little bit, will, normalize around 5% or so. The number of transactions in the real estate market is just going to take off again. 2024 is expected to be a bigger year than this year, and 2025 is supposed to be a record-breaking year. So we feel like, we're in a good spot. We just want to build a good brand, build a good team, build good agents to serve these people as they come into the community, be ambassadors. That's kind of what we're trying to do with this podcast, on top of teaching people about buying and selling real estate, but about living in Columbia, about what's available here and down in the low country, things to do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
you've heard the projections. The Lexington, Richland County area over 20 years is supposed to double in size.
Mhm.
So
I don't know where they're going to put everybody, but
here we go.
Yeah.
so
And sorry, not like to add to that though, we had talked and interviewed with somebody the podcast before this or two before this, and he had said when you're in Irmo, when you're in Columbia, you can fall for the myth that there's nothing to do.
it's just not true.
And he said the second you scratch the surface,
Mhm.
it opens up everything. And I
Yeah.
think that's what makes Irmo so unique, is that once you get past that surface, you can't run out of things to do.
And if you like to be outdoors, I know both of
Yeah.
y'all love
Mm-hmm.
to be outdoors, but the amenities that we have in the greater Irmo area are, more beautiful than any part of Columbia.
Sure.
With Salute Shoals Park and Harbison State Forest, all of that. Our parks here in Irmo are underutilized, in my opinion, and we're working with the town to try to utilize our amphitheater a little bit more, because they can do it across the dam. Why can't we, right?
Why can't we do it here?
So we're working on that as well, but I just think that you're absolutely right. If you tell me you can't find something to do in Irmo,
Come to Chamber House.
Yeah, come to
We'll-
Chamber
yeah,
House, and
We'll tell you what to do.
I'll walk you through it. I'll give you directions. I'll tell
You
you
like
which way to
karaoke?
go.
We've got
We've
that
got something for you to do. Yeah, we've got something for you to do. So I have one question that I did not ask in the last podcast, but
Okay.
it's something that I love TikTok. And there's something that I have seen a lot because I follow the real estate channel in TikTok. Everybody's talking about not really the demise, but the fall of Airbnbs and how they're going, how it's the people are tired of paying the fees and there's all kinds of weird stuff happening with Airbnb. Do you know anything about that?
So there have been some lawsuits around the state of South Carolina over local communities going so far as to legislate or put policy in place that basically shuts those folks down.
Like HOAs?
Yes.
Yes.
HOAs are just like small little beach towns going,
We don't want it.
we don't want them here.
Like they're doing in Sullivan's Island.
Yes.
Yes.
And Folly Beach.
Yes.
And that's kind of where the genesis of all this has started. And, associations like the Realtors Association at the state and local level have kind of stepped in and go, wait a minute, you're kind of trampling on people's property rights. You may not like the method of which they're doing this, but they're still it's their property. Let's find a better way to do it other than just, tell somebody they can't do something with their own property.
Right.
Right. And I'll go back, that's again why we're involved with the Realtors Association, because, you buy a house, would you want somebody telling you exactly what you want to do with it?
No.
What you can and can't do? I mean, when you buy into an HOA ahead of time,
you know the rules.
You know the rules. If it says you
don't
cannot.
have to live in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you buy a piece of property and then you decide to Airbnb it because you want to make some money at it. And then 5 years later, the town says, oh, no, you can't.
Right.
But I trust the market, right? The market is going to correct all the things that are wrong with Airbnb. If it wants to survive, Airbnb is going to adjust and adapt, and all these fees and cleaning fees and service fees and all this stuff, it'll work itself out.
Airbnb, though, when you're talking about fees, isn't unique in that. You go to SeatGeek to get your Luke Combs.
Vrbo's the same.
Yeah, you go to SeatGeek to get Luke Combs tickets, and you're like, oh, I'm paying $60.
We hate to pause our conversation with Kerry Powers, but quickly, text New Horizons to 85377 to see how we can help you with all of your buying and selling needs.
This isn't bad. And then it does the fees, and you're like, I didn't order a $120 ticket.
I know, and that's what's wrong.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong. That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole nother rant. Yeah, but
the $18 I paid to see U2, and I camped out all night when I was 14 years old.
It's no longer, but
I paid a $2 fee.
Well, Airbnb is kind of in that same fee situation right now, and I don't think Airbnb is going to be the ones to come up with the solution. I think it'll be the ticketing,
right?
Because of the mass numbers of people who adjust and first make not the solution, but an effort to make it a little bit more affordable on the fee side before Airbnb does anything.
Right.
So they're going to have a downward curve for a little bit before they can wait for somebody else to make the adjustment.
And there are so many people on social media screaming about how much money they're making doing Airbnb.
Mm-hmm. Right.
that could be a little part of it, that people are going, well, wait a minute, this isn't sustainable, but it continues to go. But it's a disruptor, right? It's a disruptor from the hotel industry, because now all of a sudden that room over the house, can make somebody money, and that, which takes some of that away from the hotel industry, right? So it'll work itself out, or somebody will come along and fix it in a different way that makes it, work easier.
So, and one of the things that somebody was saying, I can't remember what realtor it was, but they were talking about how that as people go to Airbnb less, that, these people are going to start offloading their properties, which could alleviate the inventory situations that we're seeing.
There's not so many Airbnbs out there that it's going to make a difference. I mean, we're in a shortage of inventory situation that in this area of the country, in the Midlands of South Carolina, is not going to correct itself.
Too many Airbnbs are also joint connected to the property.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like over the garage apartments and stuff.
Yeah, it's tough. You're not going to sell your garage. So
you're not going to sell your garage. This is true, George.
I mean, not be the expert in the situation here.
But, the positive of things, before that, how many people would think to come vacation at Lake Murray?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You get the really nice lake house, it's Airbnb, and now all of a sudden Lake Murray is a vacation destination rather than a second home situation or a retirement home situation.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
But vacation destinations turn into that.
Yeah. Right.
So you get the people down here in Irmo for a week. They keep coming back every year. You do that enough, they're going to end up buying the second home. They're going to end up living here, and then putting their money into the businesses in this area.
Well, I took advantage. Mark Baker helped me when I went to Athens. He helped me find a place because every hotel in Athens had been sold out for like a year.
Wow.
Because there's 4 different groups. There's freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. So it's probably, I think there's like maybe 400 students in this program. And Athens, it's not a huge town.
No.
But every hotel was sold out, and it already is for next year. And so I went ahead and booked. Mark Baker was able to find me, and it was a bed and breakfast, but it was through Airbnb, and he found me a place. And I went ahead and booked it again for next year because, I knew it would.
Get it now.
Yeah.
But so that helped. There was a lot of people in my class that had, like one guy just had like a townhome somewhere in Athens that he was staying in for the week or whatever. He's like, yeah, I'm just staying in somebody's townhome, whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, so it does provide options.
Especially in small towns.
Yes, for sure.
So what does your next year look like?
Well, I came back from Athens and regurgitated about 7 pages of stuff that I shared a little bit with you and with our Optimist Club and stuff like that. My hope is to prioritize some of that and break it down into some little pieces that we can implement. Like yesterday, I implemented just something really small. We were able to add a category to the online business directory on our website that recognizes veteran-owned businesses.
Okay.
And it's something that, we have a lot of veterans in this chamber. And Jonathan Clark and I have been working together on some of that. And he said, Kerry, it would just be nice if there was like a window cling we could put on our cars or on our door, and some sort of recognition to show that we served in the military and now we are in the business community. And so, there was a little breakout session at Institute that talked about forming a military affairs committee. So I've done that, and we're going to have our first meeting in August. And then, I put that online business directory in, and I sent the email out yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw it, but I got a ton of response. And so that's just like one little thing that makes a positive impact on our partners. But I got to prioritize all of that stuff and break it down so that we can figure out what we want to implement, what we want to work on a little bit longer. I do feel refreshed. I was feeling really, really burned out. Like my light was burned out when I left to go on vacation. And I feel invigorated. I feel like I've got more energy to tackle all of this. And
you've got 54 people you can pick up the phone and lament with, or ask for advice for, or guidance from, or just new friends.
Yes, and really great people.
Yep.
And you have chamber cruise to look forward to.
Yes, we have the chamber cruise. Yes, I'm so excited about that. I'm excited, and I'm a little bit anxious and nervous just because I've never been on a cruise. But and Driggers keep saying, cruises are really crowded. They're really, really crowded. I'm going, okay.
Just go have fun.
I know.
You're in good hands with Betty Barrett.
I know. Betty is just great.
She'll have everybody just having a great time there.
She's been great to work with on this whole thing. I got to give her all the credit because she came to me and she said, I figured it out. I figured out how to help the chamber, because the chamber gets a spiff on every single cabin that's sold. And she said, I figured it out, because normally we get, I get like probably 10 emails a week from travel companies that put these cruises and trips together.
Sure.
But that doesn't help my partners. Like I have 2 travel agents in this chamber. They are the ones that need to benefit from the things that we do.
Yeah.
And show their skills, their skill sets and stuff like that. So she did it. I got to give it to her. She's been great to work with this whole time.
And so where are we going for the gala? Because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Yeah. This year he's got to come.
Yes, we can't wait to see you in your tux.
I missed it 2 years now.
It's March 1st. We're going to do it at the DoubleTree again. They treat us so well. But yes, eventually we might outgrow the DoubleTree. Oh. We're getting pretty tight in there as it is, but Rick and Alicia, they treat us like queens, and so we're looking forward to that.
It's a great night. It's a lot of fun.
And this year we will have speakers in the back of the room so that everyone can hear. We have already addressed that situation.
I can hear, doesn't mean I'll understand.
Well, I try to speak clearly for everyone. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a fun one. But we've got our oyster roast coming up in December this year.
Yeah.
Praying for good weather. We've got 2 more karaoke's, and we've got our fall golf tournament coming up in October as well. So
Got a
still
lot.
busy.
Got a lot on your plate, but all good things.
All good things.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to see y'all at every one of them. You can do it. You can be there.
Yes.
You can do it.
I think we're busier than we've ever been because, the new real estate place is ours, but I'm probably happier than I've ever been.
Good.
And this has been
Good.
huge positive forward step, and we're doing our thing the way we want to do it, and it's just, it's working.
Wow.
It really is.
I'm proud of both of y'all. I really
Thank you.
am. And I'm really hoping you have a good year at school. I have a difficult time switching from chamber president to mom hat because you and my son are the same age. But I know that you're busy in a lot of different ways. But I think
You
you're
just don't need sleep.
you won't need it. Just drink your Red Bull and you'll be fine.
How many 19-year-olds that have been on 2 national podcasts in a year?
Oh yeah, no,
And
yeah.
now being invited to speak at a national conference.
Yeah,
So,
that's pretty impressive. I know.
California.
You're like a celebrity.
No.
Soon you're just going to be George. We're not even going to use a last name. You're
Well,
just
you
going to
can't.
be George.
Yeah, half people can't pronounce it anyway. So my go-to introduction, it's like I'm George with the weird last name.
I'm George.
Because even if I say correctly,
Yeah.
What?
How
Yeah.
do you spell that? Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
well, one little challenge for you as we wrap up here.
Yeah.
You and Ginger got to go skydiving.
That is a negative Ghost Rider. There is never a time
I
on the earth that I will do
I
that.
actually think I want to see Ginger do it worse than you, so we'll give you a pass.
Oh my gosh.
But you got to go do it together.
You know, she probably would.
Yeah.
She is way more fearless than I am. But I am terrified of heights, just like you are.
Thank you.
I am not a thrill seeker by any. There is nothing that I'm going to prove to myself by jumping out of a plane. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Yeah.
Oh, but you'd have such bragging rights.
Oh
for
no
a
no!
long
I could
time.
brag about a lot of other things. I've given birth to 2 children. No.
All right. Well, as always, do you have anything else?
No, thank you
All
for
right.
Anything else?
No, but
Re-recording.
thanks for having me on here. I love talking with y'all.
Well, no, thank you. The Chamber's been a huge part of what we are becoming, and so we're very grateful for that, and want to be of support to you in any way we can. So congratulations on starting.
Thanks.
You finished your first year,
My
3
first
more
year.
years to go of school, and just excited to see what's going to happen.
I never thought I'd be a freshman again. That's what they said our first day. They were like, "Okay, you're freshman again." We're really
Oh.
great. Yeah.
I just feel like, why do we have to go back with the school metaphor?
I know. It was so weird going to homeroom every morning. It was crazy, but anyway, appreciate you guys
Thank
a
you.
lot. Yeah.
So, yeah, we're the Cola guys. I'm David.
And I'm George.
And thank you very much, Kerry.
All right.